Be bold and admit. Say, be Ghana for ye nae. Admit. I know, say, sometimes NDC for person here politics and say, oh, when you Dumsor. It is Dumsor. Be bold and admit. Say, be Ghana for ye nae. Admit. I know, say, sometimes NDC for person here politics and say, oh, when you Dumsor. It is Dumsor. Be bold and admit. Say, be Ghana for ye nae. And yes, when ye as I want to be true. If ye doom can ye sasso near doom near swap. At least ye nim say, I mean, open better and sound. So officially, Dumsor is back. Let us cement it. What you say? Na NDC for now. Omo sumo omo crowd for social media, ni omo commentators, ni omo bloggers here. Omo ti social media. Obi akoka Dumsor asema ni edi na tem no. You cannot insult 32 million Ghanaians. Mami can't tell. That's fundamental. Ye fair no your foundation. That's the basics. To mean dig Ghana for 33 million Ghanaians in atem that we have complained about Dumsor. In any case, the fundamental right to be able to complain about Ghana is number one, or a citizen of Ghana. When you're citizens in Chombi, till Obi a citizen in Chombi. It is a Dumsor ba inflation cost ro. I want you to know Galamsey cost ro. And a national issue be a no be a can be a. Only rights will be due be atem. Because said you're a citizen of Ghana, all rights or Kasano. So no be a citizen of Ghana also or Kasa. Even the right to speak about Ghana issues. No? And yet it is not qualified by someone out your tax and out your tax. And Mary Usikoya and I know you didn't any broker to a Pentecost chairman this week. Very disgraceful, very unfortunate. There's no timetable, let's say. So over Kasa and the NDC, and you must have spoken under MPP. Who said that? Why they determine that qualification? Say I was so be Kasa by one Kasa NDC MPP timer, and they don't speak NDC time. What do you people mean? Then this week, Dumsor any idea cost man Kasa. Kasa NDC full soldiers abani ebedi watem. What nonsense is that? NDC? In fact, more NDC. The number of times that you people spoke against MPP for when they were Galamsey time now, MPP for your Galamsey. NDC, you spoke about it, and rightfully so. It is within your rights. Some MPP Nanado Nankasa or can say, me sacrificing his seat to fight Galamsey. Now, so one fighting Galamsey, that's the NDC for complaining. They had every right to complain. And yet, we supported NDC to fire MPP for the Nanado. Even within MPP for Nankasa internal politics. Omu internal politics impo. Ye kaseti Nanado say Nanado de oye na oye statue ni ade no. Ebe affected by omi ade oye na nye is display of opulence, display of power ni ade. Ye we spoke against Nanado. But I'm saying at the time now Obi kaseti Nanado no. The qualification wasn't that Obi and kaseti Mahama one abaino Mon kasenti Ekufuado. Time I kasa na MPP for be no mu di atem no. We all spoke against MPP for fact. I was one of the people. UTV na me can de bia say MPP for suppressing for freedom of expression because Okasani and so on Okasani do at them. But NDC time no, I deny West. And this is a genuine observation. I've suffered at them over 30 years, and they say no me comment no I am reading and family and come quote and come share into them the day. Mufanko bloggers na say money or more a TikTokers near there and say moody or matter Mufanko Motuna me at them the day. Try be careful. But the truth has to be told. So we are NDC full soldier. Now what joining the trumpeting of attacking people just because of more complaining about Dumsor Ghana and Yawonkwa.
Abusia, where the Vim lady a fear pokia or the Sambia to Jaya watch the say, oh, mammy, woo. Now so wada, a dear betchy. Ubia, mamma, sorenia, her mammy. Watch the say Ghana for Yajia to move, Yajia to say Dumsor Naba. Enti NDC for mamu fan wada e mamu nyese asemu de BBC ye se be ni adwene a esum ne han ye hunu sunsuni ye wom kapre katwo osi yagia tum se Dumsor na ba MPP apenso ebi ba kakra e mamu podi o mu ka kire se e yedum siesie ebi so mu dum ne kakra no mu siesie nti o mu pene the timetable by say an wo de yesiesie nti wo de ase ni se it is eba ye nim se e o man no haw. But NDC for try say omo be defend abra cost of one na mo pro. NDC for try say omo be defend Dumsor wa abra amanfo fie ehihie. Ama NDC try say omo be defend Dumsor e wa abra omo ye fridge mu adwuma omo tonton drinks ne nem omo niema essay. E na vim lady afia pokua se Ghana for sebi enye de yentimi mfa nche aban ni o. ene ma atutu ye ne de ye ntimi nkase aban enye hwe enye wo haw na emoma ye hunu de wo ye na ye ngintum ne ye hunu se 2013 ye bi bai 2014 e bi bai 2015 e bi bai kosi 2016 mo ba be kono e na mo ye nsiesie ne nema bi a aja MPP bai na gina so se MPP for e de bi be kan hu o se de mo ye ye o ye de enim se MPP apen so nka ne gina so enti afia pokuya se de amode wada na mo defend nema na emfa ye nko ba bia mo kan kire se Ghana wo hawo na ba ninti temafo enne mo beda sumu anwumre ebo no nsia ye bedum no na temafo na wo mo so kumase kwada sofo o kina no pa no nsia ye bedum no kwada sofo na wo mo so asafo market mo ye coastal madawoma ebo sa abrewe ye bedum no na wo mo so se generator petrol bi mpo no be pa agumu no be han generator bia no wo hu no eba ne sei ena Dumsor aba Ghana fo ye nyina ye ni tuam esumu ba ye hu light ba ye hu enso NDC fo se da bi ye numu no ye nsoe enye Dumsor ye nko tie film lady ene watu to be dia man ye NDC papa ene de wakono je wontu sabi ene film lady ntu sabi fi se de koso Ghana no ene ye nyan enye film lady nko enipa bebre no a oduro pastor oduro ordinano atomo bi omo TikTok NDC mabunu omo TikTok ni Facebook ni YouTube NDC for na asa sori wo mo party so a ene omo tutu bi ma party ne chese omo ni mo yegu ase fise ne mo omo de board ewuro se MPP NDC baba be ye free mu agi ye free NDC MPP for nsem no ene omo baaye no enko yie enti ama o defend NDC a wo bre fise ba bia obeka bia na obi di Dumsor uko kan sembia na obi di koko nteso uko kan sembia na obi di wei uko kan sembia na we di wei enti ama NDC ene u defend party na wo bre yenya daje na yentie vim lady ene nsemo a wo hwe agu ho ne bi
because it's not like the regular load shedding where you are aware that for a foreseeable period of time you cannot restore power. We cannot do weekly publications. In fact, engineers are working around the clock. Within this week, they are pushing to restore all the plants back online. And so we can only provide you with a very short interval periods. Indeed, this morning, we published a schedule for 6 o'clock to 6 p.m. That's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This afternoon, they've had to review it because one more plant is come on with about 140 megawatt. And so we would not live in denial. When we face challenges, we will tell Ghanaians. We know that, like me, every Ghanaian wants to enjoy uninterruptible supply of power. But I also do know that Ghanaians also appreciate it when we have genuine challenges that is not caused by policy failure or intentional. We will be honest with you, but we'll also tell you what we are doing to address the situation. And we have since been doing that right from the day I visited the plant and all the periodic updates that we've been providing. Let me also state clearly that disasters of this nature are neither predictable nor entirely preventable. And even in advanced countries, sometimes they face challenges. However, what remains within our control is the speed, the coordination, the honesty, and the determination with which we respond to these challenges. In our attempt to swiftly restore power, safety would remain paramount. The safety of the engineers is very, very critical. We can't afford.
Well, my mama, good evening. I akwaba na enede a fire, and I was see a fire because officially Dumsor is back, and it's unfortunate. Say at now was I'm a Dumsor about back. You know, and they say, oh, planning, I know a plan. They say the minister and I can address in a press conference. But said they make an answer, yen sugar coat you. Say yen sugar coat. Whether it's government, whether it's opposition, yen sugar coat you be idea. And Obian so cast obedi atemwa ain't change the truth or the facts of the matter. Ain't me who say NDC phobia start yes say oh ye bedding phobia tem. By the way, yeah program me live is also live on High Live Radio, is High Live is also live on King's Jersey and it's our live so Adam Pupa Media. Me got you FM so picking a live and see Yama be a good evening. Who are Canada near America, good afternoon. But mom, we Europe, ni Ghana, near good evening to you. Inti we a kind of 4x4 near you in some go point by point. What I say, point by point. And I make a point by point. And if I Dumsor issue now, back, no, NDC bank cannot deny that there's Dumsor, which is why a minister here press conference or change the timetable now because Ghana for have been questioning them. Some of my timetable, they am planning. We don't live in a vacuum. Yen sorry, keke. Enyema obibeko ha also planning a life in the evening we dum kania 30 minutes to cry so many pani who say yes say tell them about planning around their life. It's fair, but the point now of the politics is that the politics is they say MPP for on one side they almost there say Dumsor na back because NDC niama omo kan ye no eno ti na MPP for there no MDC for bebre so enyo omo de say Dumsor na back because omo nyaya they will be able to show at least Ghana for record said there's a clear distinction between omo NDC and MPP. Then that comes to solution. But the problem I have with NDC is that initially there was denial. Say no, this is not Dumsor. Masa ye dum kania no ye ni NDC fie ni MPP ni fie ni ye ni ehun na amengo na eti society no. Inti ye dum kania be bold and admit. I know say sometimes NDC for person me politics and say when ye Dumsor it is Dumsor. Be bold and admit say be Ghana for ye naye and ye so nye asawo na egu etrim. If ye dum kania na ye saso na ye dum na ye so at least ye nim say I mean obi betray ye nyansa. So officially Dumsor is back. Let us cement it. What you say na NDC for now omo somo omo crowd social media ni omo commentators ni omo bloggers ya omo ti social media obi akoka Dumsor asema na ye di na tem no. You cannot insult 32 million Ghanaians. I mean, that's fundamental. You have no foundation. That's the basics. To mean dig Ghana for 33 million Ghanaians in them that we have complained about Dumsor. I mean, that's ridiculous. And that's very immature, and very incrassism to insult somebody because we're complaining about Dumsor. What do you mean? Nagana no na utua kane abo mobi. Una utua in any case, the fundamental right to be able to complain about Ghana is number one, or a citizen of Ghana. When you're citizen in Chumbi, till Obia and your citizen in Chumbi. It is a Dumsor ba inflation cost ro. I want you to know Galamsey cost ro. And a national issue be a no be a can be a only rights will be obiatem. Because said you're a citizen of Ghana, all rights or Casano. So I know this was a citizen of Ghana also or Casa. Even the right to speak about Ghana issues, no. And yet it is not qualified by someone out your tax and out your tax. And Mary will see and now you didn't any because you're Pentecost chairman is very disgraceful, very unfortunate, very uncalled for. Apart from say Papano is one of the leader of one of the biggest, if you I think Pentecost Church is the biggest church in Ghana. Church of Pentecost is the biggest church in Ghana with almost 4 million members. Voters. So it said even the leader of a big church, the fact so Ghanaian, taxo is immaterial. The fact so Ghanaian, all right, because expect me a more so when you panel a head of a whole big church, the Pentecost, and genuinely Nipani making a comment so say Nenka first no your bunk of force will assume say no Galamsey it is ro say a bunk of force will assume because Ubikono Konya Arabia one where the church will be held responsible. Fair comment. Into your mom for me argument, oh Papa na MPP time or Kasa, that's immaterial. Say MPP time one Kasakra as a citizen of Ghana or right so because there's no clock. There's no timetable, let's say. So over Kasa and the NDC, and then you must have spoken under MPP. Who said that? Why they determine that qualification? Say I was so big Kasa by one Kasa NDC MPP timer, and they don't speak NDC time. What do you people mean? What's that? It's a formula. No one they buy. Constitution is to be our Ghana and Ibia or rights or Kasa. And you're sacrosanct. So I had the right to have a expression. And you're sacrosanct. And just say, Ebia wakasa mana boroso, wakasa megu obi enumase, wakasa mana tre. No so mrana make provision for publication of false news and I say defamation. And mrana make provision. Into who need rights obeka se mo bin kasa. Then this week Dumsor yeni ade e koso na man kasa. O kasa na NDC full soldiers abani ebedi watem. What nonsense is that NDC full soldiers? What nonsense is that? This is absolutely nonsense and unacceptable. So politics here, in fact, more NDC. The number of times that you people spoke against MPP4, when they were Galamsey time now, MPP4 year Galamsey, NDC, you spoke about it, and rightfully so. It is within your rights. Some the MPP, Nanado Nankasa or can say, me sacrificing me seat to fight Galamsey. Now, so one fighting Galamsey, that's the NDC for complaining. They had every right to complain. And now we supported NDC to fire MPP for the Nanado. Even within MPP for Nankasa internal politics. Omu internal politics impo. Yena ye kaseti Nanado say Nanado de oye na oye statue ni ade no. Ebe affected by omi ade oye na nye is display of opulence, display of power ni ade. Yena we spoke against Nanado. But I'm saying at the time now obi kaseti Nanado no. The qualification wasn't that obi an kaseti Mahama 1 abaino a mon kasentia Ekufuado. Time I kasa na MPP for be no mudi atem no. We all spoke against MPP for fact. I was one of the people. UTV na me can be say MPP for suppressing for freedom of expression because okasani aso no okasani edu atem. But NDC time they oh no, I deny West. And this is a genuine observation. Odi matema have suffered at them did over 30 years. And they say no many comment I am reading and family and come coat and come share into atem did in there. Mufanko bloggers na say money or more a TikTokers near there and say mudi or matter Mufanko motunami modi atem did try be careful. But the truth has to be told. So we NDC full soldier. Now what joining the trumpeting of attacking people just because of more complaining about Dumsor Ghana nya wo nkwa odia. Ghana nya NDC nkwa dia. And you see this argument are buying a make it say Dumsor is because of Akosombo omo boa complete. And kudos to Minia Obi because I saw that Obi corrected that narrative. Intro say you want to come and fabricate a story. Say Dumsor na Ebano is because of Akosombo. The entire Ghana Akosombo Kani Omodema Ghana is about 20% pay. The entire Ghana Kani yenye free Akosombo ni about 20% pay. Majority of Ghana your power generation in free Akosombo biom. In free Akosombo biom gas and gas any other things oil near ye didn't generate ye free Akosombo level. Akosombo Kani anom de mine less than 20%. Into Dumsor a national issue. Affecting ice water for affecting a num for affecting a dome for affecting office for. Into everybody has a right to talk about Dumsor. Officially, Dumsor is back, and no amount of insult will shut everybody up, anybody up. At him did be anyone member did you become Biano to say Dumsor is not back. Dumsor is back. Into your gun in our plan where they could jump office near the Atoniama or Kanyana Baba to send an affairs near Yenona. But you see, it is the reason why Dumsor is back under NDC Mahama too, no, is because of the unnecessary politics here. They can't answer me here. The unnecessary politics here. They can't answer me. It is unnecessary because Kania is a national issue, and only affect 24-hour economy. Dumsor will affect it because Obia what Kania kakra is stable. No, 24-hour economy over the last 1.5 years into me yo till. What can you numpa na stable na Dumsor ni hono 24-hour economy na president Mahama kaso be no 1.5 years ni yentumi nyeye enti Dumsor nankasa is even a year friend saying it's undermining NDC nankasa 24-hour economy enti it will be senseless for any NDC full soldier and any NDC supporter to insult Obi because we are complaining about Dumsor. The person who's complaining about Dumsor no crab wow NDC ni no because or person can any genius na 24-hour economy no you can at least start it. Because the last time I passed a law, no, Dumsor a 24-hour economy law, no, a Guzita no more parliament near the pass. What if BBM? And it's an annual quarter president Mahama here 24-hour market or tamale. Now 24-hour market, no, yeah, the day never call powers our market, no, and you can hear ya. And I am so Ghana for we are not ready to start the conversation about proper utilizing a Yane Gu or no Solano. Into Kanye Yan Yebe Yusu. Into Mamma Becca any cock and bull story and say Yan Kola Ukruma. Yeah, no more low IQ ni be with me Jimmy Omon. Yeah, Jimu Daho. You cannot tell any cock and bull story to anybody. Say 20 Kaniana Edumuno because of Akosombo. That is not true. Yeah, name say it's not true. This will be our own. It's not true. Akosombo Kaniana less than 20%. Yeah, was so many. Even we damn crying to me my Kania enough. We damn. Inti yen type politics near the national issues like Dumsor. Galamsey, inflation, economy, any idea, you know. Say who NDC, who MPP, the two of them must come together and say that you build it on mine and and Mahama ba first one and Sana Mahama co-opposition 2016. You know, there was some fantastic move by President Mahama and then buying NDC at the time, which was a year friend saying Sino-Hydro. Is it no? Yes, Sino-Hydro. It was a car power plant in any emergency power systems. Granted, sending boarding, but they were emergency power systems are near here to show up your power generation. No, and at that time, no. MPP for buy just after Mahama free power 2016 MPP for buy between 2017 and 2018 no now your power generation after the good power generation but you see Ghana your leaders no and drink what kind that's one of the problem because you buy na year 2016 no 2016 na Mahama oh na because we say Mahama time no Dumsor started around at most Mahama and Mahama mu ye serious cover car power no near Mary near there buy. So we're able to none boarding into Shama Sika near Tian and Sabi Bru, some predators and Quasisica. Anki to your boat like you're planning earlier, but in Yabasa into the infernal twinching. Into a Mary Nick Kappa one only idea by you know. At least no, it gave Ghana some solid grounding in terms of energy generation. Into at least your year, you bet me a can enough for Ghana for you. But I feel be a Ghana for you. I feel be your money quite him. The excuse that nano NDC penny ba kukatena high rise buildings about Ghana and bro sign kesi about Ghana obi use air condition. Another cock and boo story. Once na classroom another cock and boo story. Abro tinkani and high rise building na cost you Dumsor the and abro chesen and komoda kan dum and can you Dumsor ka dum. Another cock and boo story. Abro chira a winter bar ye gas ne power a heater the whole day to or show back air conditions into the whole day. I mean, what's this? And then move out to Ghana for coins ne we are mana ya getting your coins seriously a cock and bull story until now reason my but in care drink koye ni more. And then who said time Mahama kofa Mary Nika power buy, you know, that would give us some stability. Into how can we, with the population growth now, affiliating say Ghana, no, your population will grow at 2.2% every year. And it's every year, and then the Ghana population is 30 million as of 2016, 2017. And then the next 2 years, population betting me as a 31. And at 32. And then it's a 32, and it comes with corresponding energy consumption needs. Young fan now for young planning ko yenim say bia Mary ne half bi ne be kwa kwaji aka woni enkoji nka ho oh Nigeria for so mo my gas bi ne Nigeria for nkasa say the bo mo increase gas young planning ko yenim. And that's the difference between abroad countries bebre ne Ghana because young planning ko yenim ni ti yenya Mary ne car power na no ye okay my na na yetena ase so young manage the aka no because we didn't have to be in Dumsor right now. Dumsor na Ghana experiences is here and the issue about maintenance from I mean a report and I'm a reporter my Ghana water ECG near day I knew because the data showed at that time say ECG ne lines ni bebre transmission lines ni bebre ECG use no bebre a week bebre data from 1960 so say changing and that is the reason why President Kufuor time ohun nyansa so junior President Kufuor people don't like President Kufuor, but me, I like President Kufuor. The two chairman. He has his flaws. President Kufuor has his flaws. Maybe 1 year when he was in power, but in terms of all jail code and him, oh, what? President Kufuor ne cover Gridco buy, and the reason the rationale behind Gridco, that is why NDC advised a Pamu Gridco director and your cock and bull story, another fake, another small screen, another Azan cosmetics, just to cover up the actual issue. What is Gridco's issue with Kanani Dumsor? Because Gridco generative, VRA and a generative. If you have an issue with Gridco, a generation, why are you attacking? Why are you sacking the Gridco boss? Why are you sacking the Gridco boss? Another fake move. Oh, sacking Gridco boss, senseless for what? Gridco generative, VRA for a generative. Now the Kanani Nama Gridco, who is the middleman between the VRA and the ECG, because ECG for the distributor can be a fee any day. Into a moment lines na dada. Gridco for in charge of transmission lines like a no. Normally about the ECG and the entire labor President Kufuor was who young something or T Gridco because first na pressure ni nyina go VRA any ECG no mo hu na adwuma ne so and no mo yes okay yen fa grid ko no be say anymore so that ECG for san how mo ho say ye ko manage distribution we asan ba manage transmission and ye say adwuma ne ye de ma friends say grid ko and grid ko buy under President Kufuor, even under Professor Mills, Gridco was one of the most successful government institutions and no Mondeka. Very well run. That is why I'm not buying this. I'm buying cock and bull story. Say Asaki Gridco boss. They just want to get a sacrificial lamb. No matter sacrifice papa no. Many papa can be fighting back, but why wouldn't Ghana government? We are so fighting back. Be passing because that's at also. Near my Yoko for Abe Jojo every day. Be a Yoko every just to disgrace you and don't forget your mom. But the issue of sacking a Gridco boss near a cock and bull story, Gridco is not responsible for this Dumsor. The issue is between VR reform and generating. We have generational issues. Yesika and soon we have generational issues. We have not invested properly in the advanced generation, and we have not managed the generation capacity. The issues about generation capacity I am managing over the years. From time I'm a journalist the issue of Ghana electricity has been generational capacity and distribution efficiency. ECG for and we are not make say ECG issue does not affect Dumsor. Omo kanya no ne omo maintenance. One him data no ho no ma say ECG for cables no fire data from 1960s. And at the time under President Kufuor and Professor Mills, they tried to change some of the cables. So they've changed to abai biaba na kwa investment to change that no to change my transmission lines they friends saying distribution lines. You don't go and sack the boss. You don't go and sack the boss on no why. You change the lines now better you know. You change the lines now better you know. It is alcohol can boost oil in fact. Yentie because yen na make say ye need that ho. Omo me yankola no be fast ye need that ho in fact. Abai must fix the issue. But Abai must focus on not politicizing this issue. When ye issue a politics, in fact, say Abai himself before be ministry they should call them no dealing with the issue. This is not about politics, it's about national development and national growth. Because this Dumsor is threatening NDC Nankasa flagship program, which is a 24-hour economy. So Dumsor way is affecting NDC Nankasa, is threatening NDC Nankasa 24-hour economy. So it's not the time I bear politics. Don't come and tell anybody story. They ain't sacrifice Gridco boss. They ain't sacking. They ain't take blame. And if Gridco boss na hear the problem, I don't know man shut down for details. What crime has he committed? What offense? What has been his negligence? What has been the corporate governance issues are breaching performance indication? Chest and also ye way no anye way. What buy nankasa na oba we took inventory. Ebiani ministry nankasa oba ya cable segu habo. Mose ayira ye kwhwe na de no habo. Another cock and bull story. Ministry of Energy, you must sit up. You must sit up. And you say the biamoba Kokwanasi story just to cover things up. For what? Kokwanasi story just to cover things up. Moba yesa musi containers ayira wo ECG na wo habo and obiafa. Me so minim habo ye wo me wotema minim tema at the back of my hand. There's no corner of the habo that I don't know. There's no way a container is making free a habo ho. Abra obi nim. Na habo nankasa security ya obefemu ye be 1,000. All cameras all over. It's either na containers ECG container to me from. Ye hwe ya na de no ho. Na de nankasa wo ECG e wo habo ho a. Enso na nka mo ba be dada na nka nkofo afa echira kwa kofa containers na koton adi. Na nka nkofo afa echira koton containers na di. Inti government wonya study. The and Kokwanasi stories na doso. You need to set up and actually fix Ghana systems, no, any economy. No, we are not joking about Ghana issues. No, it is in the interest of Obi or MPP Nikra wants to see say a NDC about succeeding. Obi or NDC needs to cry on no class or more a year or NDC as succeeding. No, any be no idea can say yes, not buying as succeeding. This is not the time for yen dink of what them opponent to your Beckham Dumsor and Yanko Dinatem Yanko Yen. Tisa a brandy I tried Dumsor video. Man who said this week, yes, so my nama. And I'm so welcome to the club. A human sanity. But if you know, said the you know, the old can correct her, why not?
Just the beginning. Hey, Dumsor Shastia, I think you're doing a Cassiamba. I'm Mamu, can you do Gani and a sasso? Hey, can you do Gani and a sasso? Electricity, power, electricity, power.
Jabrante we dem yes so obeda. The way on me no and got you no
just to get the beginning. Hey, Dumsor Shastia, I feel never doing a Cassiamba. Mahama, can you do canning and assassin? Hey, can you do canning and assassin? Electricity, power, electricity, power. Can you do canning and assassin?
boy, when this will be a fan way or no a comedian, near more ye or ye, and you know, a comedian. So he's not a politician. 2 years NDC now attack boy where you'll be doing a disservice to yourself. Or no, I do or no a comedy keke or your comedy. Into Dumsor assembly there, you focus on it say a national issue. No more BND be at them, but government knows why I dare say what you mean higher timetable. Because at least no. But you see the thing that they be make say some of the things are and my NDC for be feeling justified. They say also more young about Dumsor. Yeah, because see Napo Echo can say on my timetable biano the way I yen two ya no good na poso so on my timetable but you see am yes NDC for feeling entitled to say the betimi do obi atem say mo the same NDC for mo ye na pono the same NDC for no di na po atem no they are the same people who are insulting people for complaining about Dumsor. Double standards and hypocrisy mo de mo obi anka masem but na po de obi nka na asem so we failure at Dumsor. Let's move on and go another issue. So, but then the Biani I mean, this President Mahama move with a rejected America for $190 million dollars for a data a budget. Almost more iska. Like data na sikana omude magana no. Omo Ghana so health data na Ghana sino. That is a good move by government. This one is a solid move by government. You know there. You better buy so any day, anytime. Because what Ghana for home? No what Ghana for data home? Because every day, I don't trust Ghana database. Because Ghana I shut down share data so ye. But for government to have the boldness and to have the balls to stand up to no means a person but President Trump. Any America buy say mo $109 million so farmer there we don't care, we don't need your money. You fire data be mom. That one is a solid move by that NDC buying. And the NDC buying I dare to reject this move. And this is how we want the African countries to be bold to fight against Western oppression and Western neo-colonialism because then I kuta data. Oh yeah, can say my data. Now they also obey my yesika, my data. Nina boils down to one thing. So Africa for yenya kukudro. Na Ghana sika ye woya ye nanado kasi yetiskaso. As come and truly yetiskaso. Ghana no yetiskaso. Kaya na Chinese if one for you every baby Ghana no betu Galamsey. Yet then obia sorry enough from north besi akra too. Gold is a Ghana baby. This is why we were known as the Gold Coast. Na say yesika na ye hweso ye. Yeah, resources ni protecting one. And ya the America for benya the boss, the effrontery. I got that say the nest. Omu nya the effrontery to come and tell Ghana say, Mama ye mu data. Na ye ma musika. $109 million is coming. Ghana and can you estimated gold that. But omiamu status are gold gold reserves or Motogu Bank of Ghana. And then your politics unnecessary in your day. And the NDC buy or my ton 19 tons. And that say the gold and Ghana you will gold more than $109 million in America for you. You will gold more than $109 million. You want more gold the chain $109 million. But because most African countries, Ghana, DR Congo, uranium you to DR Congo is enough to develop any Western country. Even to Dubai for Nenya side DR Congo for uranium now and come. But abronti abrofunu be ka shed na no ma starting tokwa so that on be fetch no matwe e de come krom. This idea way a decision na NDC abaye taking on behalf of the people of Ghana, and we salute them and we commend them. We give them commendation, kudos. We congratulate them for taking this bold move because yes, America for say Ghana no mukuta. Me say oko US State Department for report on Ghana. You be shocked say oh kind as a Ghana. They have all the data in Ghana. They have all the data and to their account. So it is good to buy denial or this one. But I hope say this is not a denial on the face. This is not a cosmetic denial. Because I told they be a politicians anymore Ghana. No any say, but no matter actually near the data na command for. I was never in favor of Kelly GVG for handling Ghana data. In fact, there was this lawyer after the case no court time he COVID time no because social distancing government issued a executive order for access to Ghana data. What you see your data in Kenny GVG for? I mean, what Kenny GVG, you know, it's a South African company, but okuta Ghana data. Kenny GVG because on why no middleman between yen any telcos no ntino okuta Ghana data nyina. Because by Sir President Kufuor say executive order no the man for social distancing, any tracking of obia movement under COVID time no. Say we data no a link to o number o. Ni nyina nkofo no kuta. Enti I no Kelvin GVG for which is a South African company. E dey na dey data more. Na no ye NDC buy na mo kai health data. Na say o Ghana company bi o Atlanta. E dey na Ghana data. Ye dey ma obi a oti Atlanta. Me what Togo data crowd yen kwadia omo fa ma yen. Until that's why I'm commending NDC for denying America for this asset because omunya data we are look ya dane and 9 gra. Yeah, it's a see and yen say a big deal, but this is a very big deal. Yen say data a big deal, a big deal. Because Obi say that in AI generation way, data is the gold, is the new gold. Data is the new gold. And it will be kuta with data, not the man, another country, another sovereign country. Then you are not a sovereign anymore. Sagana the data no America na chese nke ye sovereign bi ye mate for America nka de omo de ayi Maduro ya akwache no Venezuela nka da kweto ombetimi aye because they have our data. The omo ti America na they will know everything that is going on obo wa kromunim. So Ghana has made a very bold decision not to give this information to them. What I say, and that is why I'm proud of na Ghana aye no ti wo de wo ya papa ye beka. We are born so I will fire you no UBIB. Until one say you're moving to another issue. Another issue soon NDC. On say NDC, the issue about President Mahama or when they be did and it's a very concerning issue. Now, what to me who say Julius Debra, any I say don't get ya, no take lead no. They are in a comfortable lead in the campaign. At two force in the workers wada. Maybe one so or ye moves underground, but obekas wada. And I also Harun Edrisu there. On when him say presidential flag bearership no and come man this time round because on also free north. President Mahama free north. And ya the north back to back. It's not very likely. Into on what choke on the target near running mate. And yes, sir, on what 2032. What I say 2032. No about the presidential move. Because I used to fairly no, we did 50 there, but fairly no, we're young still, or age on the side. 20 to 32, still original. But they say don't get on your old politician, experienced politician, aparachiki NDC mono. Sani so called thank you to one say don't get here, and any thank you to a campaign or ye. Oh, we are start. Now, nothing I say look at the no, and call for no so almost say no, I say don't get a move now or ye and thank you to an idea call. What they say you don't get your chances or call thank you to na. Why it is on all associated with the grassroots no or junior omo on the junior omo into very nyehwe at the end they yankase ye bemba obi a yini bi ye che ne kakra ka ma na so obi aso obi abenya ne de sansem na ete no get aka ne nyere kwa. It is or ye senior politician to okasa don't take it for granted so okasa kwa. Or Kasa in terms of the fact so pursue coolly foot soldiers no grassroots for not grassroots running in a banner side and he's doing well. So for say don't get is doing 20 the other people no comes to say Julius Debra camp any a year friend saying at force and camp any other people are interested in replacing President Mahama no omo make it a move we security concerns force NDC chairman is saying don't to suspend Northeast na got better now ma baby asa. So for say don't get a campaign will be effective. They have to stop him. And that's why they've done this. And yet normal security or one creating security problem no for he say don't get here. Because they will not allow him to continue. Make me allow. I did a competition here. And competition is more a thing. Say President Mahama Kasa is conflicted on who they want support no. Because Julius Debra no here in Choto Mutu. And if you look at this weekend, baby Julius Debra go soon here with Pentecost, but I will do birthday now. Ninyina suna Julius Debra so in enye so kwa me Julius Debra me ya kan me ba no nko ne ma me di pokuya ono so me bra pani me feeling style bia bi if it comes to support anybody in NDC he will be the first person I will support if omo ko presidential na Julius Debra di mu a me sign Julius Debra won ko support obi a me Julius Debra oye minim no pa, and he's a very good charismatic person, very noble, and also no baby our fan character ni dimi na ni na political career and our President Kufuor, President Mahama mo line ni bi very calm, very cool and collected, but very very strategic. Who did Julius Debra one? That's why I'm telling you, the sooner Julius Debra goes soon, enye soon kwa. On him say any birthday, look at the massive whole show around the birthday, you know. It was a political move because they say don't get here no or ground, no. A kotia Julius Debra. Until also no so many say no, challenge me to a day ground. Until when watch na a kotia ne chirpone kakra bi. So Julius Debra so person say don't get here me so. What the hell? Weekending, you know, Julius Debra was on top in terms of news, in terms of visibility. He was seen. President Mahama and Kasa, the way he the testimony that President Mahama gave about Julius Debra. And nothing I'm a to Facebook say Mami Uzina or Kata say a Pentecost elder. One say the Julius Debra ye crack wetia or no Kasa. Now Julius Debra no ni Mahama ye campaign 24/7 no kwa Pentecost ni. Or no ni elder any ye apostle nyameche. Now kwa kodini elder atem. Now NDC and Kasa nim say to fight against Church of Pentecost they will be finished if they fight against Church of Pentecost. NDC and Kasa is aware. Any attempt to attack Apostle Nyameche, NDC will be finished. Because Papa no, and Pentecost could have about 4 million members. Now, NDC ni MPP come me or win your I check the total vote or mudi winning. Check the total number of votes. And 6 million. I think the last election you can call about 6 million. I'll look for the numbers and let you know. And 6 million. And it will be disastrous for NDC to go and fight with Apostle Nyameche. That's why Julius Debra muko kuli papa na bekas ono or the mamene boni achen ono cry. They had to go and see the man to beg. And Julius Debra no what ambition to become the next president to be replacing President Mahama. O kaso ono nyana say Apostle Nyameche de ne satono so. No ka say Pentecost wo nyina ye nipa nie ye nia Pentecost ni nie o president dey amuko post vote Julius Debra. Hey, wo mame uzino mame we wanye calculation ye. So our PhD, I don't think say any PhD in statistics and maybe analysis. Well, I need a calculation here. Because if she did her calculation well, and I wouldn't say one cast chief of staff, and for that matter, NDC for penny for big Pentecost of what you will not play with Pentecost. If it's NDC for no crying Pentecost, so I don't play with Pentecost. Now, President Mahama crying sorry, a church or Assemblies of God, come members, it's a Pentecost crying. President Mahama is not playing with Assemblies of God because Assemblies of God for crap, President Mahama to say Koshia. No, they don't only pray for him, but they urge their members to vote for him because Assemblies of God. Now you are going to play with Church of Pentecost. Are you kidding? We are Kolana, Mami Wepa. You are going to play with Church of Pentecost. Instead of Julius Debra who said, Mami, we were saying on Julius Debra ambition. Was say Julius Debra Jumano, you know, because Julius Debra, one of the key constituencies are Julius Debra, and you just Eastern region, because Julius Debra for Eastern region, in Tanya, you call him saying home region, the Umbeto Amano, plus Church of Pentecost. Julius Debra himself in 2 key constituencies. He's taken to 2028 elections as somebody who can replace President Mahama, Church of Pentecost and Eastern region. So Biabe failing are not these two people, these two constituencies. Church of Pentecost as a constituency on its own. And the whole region of Eastern region, because of Eastern region, if you call only passe, you don't play with him. Into Papa Nankasa will say, Mamena say the agenda. And was some NDC popularity rating and start dropping. I don't want to say, I mean, you can't smart the crack catcher NDC for say President Mahama. One man will approval ratings they drop it. Because what you are grown out be tien kolana one form na omo mu didi atem na omo mu didi atem ye de omo campaign to come to power but over power we are in fact them didn't govern because a different strategy as a okope oba no onya ni we are a different strategy. Now you are managing the relationship because when you are there but you have to manage to please the person, manage the person's emotion, manage the person's wants, manage the person's needs. Nobody wants to say when your power never. Me, my Ghana power credit a transit 4 years pay. 4 years pay. No answer and you are insulting Church of, you are attacking Church of Pentecost elder because of Abeka say Dumsor. Are you serious? As on no one Ghana ni. Would your moja will change Apostle Nyameche? we any patch and post nyame papa no dey ache oba ye dey fan che o. We are nobody by here. We have a right to forgive or not to forgive. Don't and I mean, they got to Facebook and say, who are you? Now, I'm me. I'm an ordinary Ghanaian. Or they are tell you, they have fun chow. Forget me, me Pentecost, but I'm invested in Assembly because it's high time also calling for out for doing and useless. One man, what bank cranking in Boneo. And I was expecting President Mahama saying, beyond Papa Niso or their chairman, corner, suspend the mamino. So what they won't sack and suspending no. Suspending no, got 3 months without pay. No, she and Yansan was a politics, no, Yan and Yansan, Yan okro mouth. Sabin ye be Biana was okay. When you are government appointee, you are not a communicator anymore. So the way you communicate and put some government appointee, no free zone, say you market what. And by now, President Mahama 24-hour economy must start as free zones. Minimum and chairman of free zones commission when he was Minister of Trade. Solid work, garments and textiles factories. Alan chairman do mobile Ghana, uti free zones. A whole free zones bond that sits in Tema. Major part of free zones no Tema. There can no other places. Accra, but the major part of free zones no sits in Tema. What have you done with free zones? What have you used the free zones to know as a platform to catapult 24-hour economy? Now, President Mahama being at his next State of the Nation address, a free zones to know. You to me achieve A, B, C, D. Garments and textiles factories. Now, what China? I coffee biaba. I'm on year garments and textiles. They are creating 1 million jobs. And with free zones enclave or tema. You provide more electricity in free zones enclave or tema 24/7 to 1 hour. Apostle Nyamiche. Shame on you, beautiful woman. But wisdom no akakakra. You didn't have to comment. You didn't have to comment because obia the can Galamsey assembly ebedi na tema. Imagine what you people said. Imagine what you people said under Ekufuado Galamsey. Imagine what you people said. Ekufuado obia fire no maybe can you fire no. Ekufuado Galamsey no you are not doing it. And for what be and no NDC for bebre. Who said that MPP for Nankasa ye Galamsey for, including the Kufuado promoter again, so a chief Galamsey ya. Mary Uzi antis will be a bedi Kufuado atemo. But what ye, Apostle Nyamiche generally or can't one sorry as some say yesuro. See a babon crofo to crowds, yea, Mamma no descending the gutter. What do you mean? What do you nipa by Apostle Nyamiche or descending the gutter will also descend? Are you kidding me? Utipani Apostle Nyamiche, so descending the gutter. Hey! Now, Papa, baby, or Tiano, go bedroom. Also, chief of staff for creation. Chief of staff koto Apostle Nyameche and Nancy to beg him for forgiveness. Oh, Suma to beg him for forgiveness. Who yeah, reserve team member no. Who your first selection, second selection, so yes, the second selection. What's a bench reserve? Who now kodi Papa natem? Now say Apostle Nyameche now a good person to know so the action no so or pushing out sorry for you. That is why method is a pastor back so for back because obedience bia and nobody can shut anybody up. Unye nipa nchen obi one on 2 hours for talking obi so there is for talking and obi kasa you have no right to come and attack the person. You have no right. Missy Okufuado asem ye kan Galamsey asem kan kasem MPP for Galamsey time excavators near MPP for ye then excavators we question them because it was our right to question MPP. Ntina ma miracle aboaji asem me be fire no. Me be fire miracle aboaji sesi ah. Or say the next MPP government in the next few days or top officials or we involved in Galamsey. I think we're needless. Miracle aboaji what you chungu free home. You don't need to go on this tangent. Needless. Because a wooden list of so-called Abayan for Omia Galamsey, MPP for time, you know. And then I want to find the same list of Abayan for Omia Galamsey Swamba. And maybe I got there drew Galamsey issue. It's not about when they be stop all Galamsey. Because you say NDC for any MPP for your microphone. In fact, NDC by Erastus aside don't call report baby awaye shows NDC chairman for stopping Galamsey committee from working. It is the fact that NDC for go be Galamsey. We know. Some politicians no mono for na more power. And then NDC by here. So blue water gas na minister of natural resources go and I don't know to be near. From day one, I'm the catch him says I minister blue water gas no in a bogus and Gosiaga. Now soldier for cry you come Major Mahama because of Galamsey home. You come Major Mahama. Soldier knew could your crime to me. People attacked him and finished him off because of Galamsey. ade a NDC aban starting under Professor Mills and a President Mahama beto aso make operation Vanguard President Mahama e dey papa ya wa free mu a friend say Samuel Sapon Ashanti regional mayor papa no ya Samuel Sapon na down operation Vanguard Mahama ntumi anye and odi free so 2016 Akufo-Addo buy 8 years when ntumi solve Galamsey also his members started joining it and also started to issue licenses NDC for by NDC for nkofo bebre so akoguma omuye. In fact, I have even said say Sami Jemfia Seno Mukogun and a Galamsey related and yet just simple armed robbery. I said it here. And I may edge police from someone shut down fan investigation who in Omuji caution statement no a statement no from Kofono Mumbusa Mude the investigation should go beyond just robbery. And robbery keke. A Galamsey related too. So what I say? Enuti se miracle aboje be kase ne e na obebu bodian. I think that it will not serve us any purpose. It will because I mean yenim say NDC aban sampa say omunkrofobia Galamsey they are not going to prosecute the people. Because now any news because NDC ankasa ko a campaign omo ka che so omo de omba obi abedidi peche. Ombe ma Kokubu ahen several videos of Kokubu ahen telling enkrofo Galamsey for omo ko Galamsey site omo se ye ba ye be mama ye. We will regularize any amount too. And the NDC for doing Galamsey no any news or they are doing it. And yet something that is even debatable. NDC people also doing the Galamsey. And NDC and NPP both are joining hands to destroy this nation because of beer buying bar. Then crop up so mudidi. And NDC for Moya Galamsey. And yes, sir, Nano ya President Mahama by ya no Moya Galamsey ni biu. That President Mahama all 2016 and NDC for be were involved in Galamsey. When you limit the issue to we must buy normal licenses, say, and we must buy normal licenses. People are doing Galamsey without licenses, because of course, mining without licenses, and not yet proper Galamsey or more licenses near small scale mining. And what only happened under President Akufo-Addo time was just to transition some of the people who are doing Galamsey and issue them licenses. They were doing it. And to Kokubo and we are going to pay no more so ye buy a bemamu, you better regularize no alcohol to any news. Any news, Ombeman Crawford to any news. They told them some Ombeman Crawford to. And to Miracle Abodi, save your energy, not build the Momo MPP. That's where your homework should go. Momo MPP now say the base for to a team, say the base for to a team, someone sumu shaping moniama you. Parliament now, are you giving Parliament the proper support? That is where Miracle Abodi, your job should go to. Now, when you have a covitonto, NDC for a degree in the optics. Omo say optics, near Miami and share, and omo very good in it. Yeah, Melako just now we are in charge of the saying communication. This is the time also group on crowdfunding to say they are not JHMS and more parliament, no more managing parliament. You had a shadow a minister for every department. Let's chase the NDC for them more run for their money. This job no, it's not miracle about your this one and if you had a proper committee on minds and energy, minority caucus, no, that's their job. That's their job. Because more sector, more sector information. Into miracle about use your energy properly. From energy no kokoya mbefa so mbeya proper unity because that people na wo and united sir. Say hope sin ado ejina sideline so bomb style BAB. Into use that energy as a litmus, as a glue to glue my party together because there are cracks in MPP. Building on a say NDC for Moya Galamsey for what do you mean? No, because it will not serve us any purpose. Moya Galamsey be anyway. Moya Galamsey be and our body in Kwanya, Attorney General Bechu on Chiomo. NDC for crowd cases work out. Attorney General by filing knowledge prosecutor, stopping cases in Kosiaga. It will give you maybe political advantage in terms of narrative, no best safety. But there are more interesting issues that you must focus on. Most starting, but minority caucus now parliament must focus on asking the ministry, resources, natural resources ministries, the blue water gas. How much are we spending to pay them? So far, the blue water gas na jumana he and akwakodu because the so-called blue water gas na jumana ye effective. And can you suppose Pentecost apostle nyame cheka sense Ukrainian say? Let's just say blue water gas na much useless. Miracle aboje more energy no should go there. More energy no should go there. Blue water gas ni ye juma and Kenya is apostle nyame say ye nsuo mpo ni abonkofo suwom Blue water gas is completely useless. You just job for the boys. Yempe party boys yen for munkogum. Soldier for cry bre. I'm a soldier for cry ya for much omunko 9 months. Omunkra say Galamsey is a national disaster. Soldiers know. Now I cover blue water gas. Not a Pentecost elder name say blue water gas. Your moduma ndru baby ya. Intuition said the TNS is even getting worse. Yes, you encoding at them. TikTok abiko kan is encoding at them. Blog abiko kan is encoding at them. And everybody Ghana for 33 million Ghana, everybody them because nobody ain't stopping. We ain't stopping talking about it because Ghana for perhaps we even pay more taxes than you. So we are not going to stop talking. And insult say insult in opposition, the kind of NDC sponsored NDC. And I'm not afraid to say it. In Akufo-Addo time, 28 years of Akufo-Addo are buying. The NDC sponsored NDC. Lord. I don't be na say miracle about je fa no so person ye bi no but you see they be am catch people for say mo de ye can about mo na mo ka say mo party ni ye latest party mo na mo de mo tradition ne baye mo tradition mo tumi ho mfa mo ho to NDC for into the yastic no susu dia na ye di susu mo no will always be higher because a party that was started by people like JH Mins and money there so I say also ba be sponsor nkofo so mo ko didi atama ye church mo nkofo ya o mo ko ka say Mahama ye LGBT. I mean you people should know better and advise your people better say mo some ye intellectual discourse enye Mahama ye LGBT na Mahama no obi oni Mahama dada de bia nim say Mahama no LGBT nye ne lie and if you go and na Mahama that's bogus. Mahama LGBT don't know pay. Now she mama your first lady Lord Mahama said your tear woman with enough body goose near the original so solid very obi beja we one man kokas we Ghana ma'am for Mahama obi describing Mahama with LGBT bia will be wrong but it is legitimate to say obi busa President Mahama say wo buy now we say you are not for LGBT. I will say Akufo-Addo they don't have the political will to sign the LGBT no LGBT bill no has been there. You are passing into law by all members of parliament and Akufo-Addo move free honum. You see, and people saying that Akufo-Addo should have signed. The case was in court. I don't know Ghana for MPC ebesian there sir. I don't know MPC ebeko school. You be read kakrasa. Akufo-Addo could not sign the LGBT law because Rachel Sky or CTFM or say a lawyer. Rachel Sky has sent the case to court. Another Supreme law lecturer so has taken the matter to court to the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court you cannot do anything about it until the Supreme Court finishes with the case. So the issue was at the Supreme Court. Akufo-Addo don't sign it. Miracle move focusing on issues on the here and sana my dear fata. So far the Dumsor ya abeya and NDC is in a comfortable lead. Dumsor we are and NDC is in a comfortable lead in terms of governance. A Jumani the NDC for they are in a comfortable lead. But Dumsor and they expose you more. 24-hour economy no so expose you more. In terms of also ability to also negotiate with people and also expose you more. And then sourcing expose you more. Because NDC, then things they said about the Akufo-Addo in the bush for, and rightfully so. Because you know to Akufo-Addo for time now, you know, Akufo-Addo bush for, but say President Akufo-Addo yesterday. If a President Akufo-Addo a man creative arts sector, all these people, Akufo-Addo did not need to give them appointments. That's why you see me what issue with Gabi Asaro-Chidako crowd. Forever respect Gabi Asaro-Chidako for refusing to take any appointment. For refusing to take any appointment, although no BN said Gabi he was a shadow prime minister, but he refused to take an official appointment. Unlike Nina Kenoforiata, who took the finance ministry, and then where he landed the finance ministry, which some. And then he is fighting because he decided to take a job that he didn't have to. What to data bank? MPP, they were not lacking of first the finance people. I could say it's a UN consultant could have adequately done that job. He did that job under President Kufuor and he could have done it. Could have splendidly done the job. But there be one of the sins of Akufo-Addo no. These things are running. I know, say now people also say they know Akufo-Addo has been vindicated, a lot of the things, but we can't say that without saying that there were also mistakes under Akufo-Addo buying. But see, Akufo-Addo has been vindicated in terms of economy. No, now you're in a World Bank for kind. No, so President Mahama acknowledges Akufo-Addo mo economy ni. You see, there are some things happen. What the year politics? I mean, see, this or more imagine year coins. low IQ for no. They allowed the blogger you or America to insult everybody because the facts are there. If you want to read the facts are clear. And the data, how they don't trust Ghana data, go to World Bank. And the World Bank data will show you, say, between 2017 2018, the economy was doing fantastic until COVID by. But to be fair, under that time, we were under IMF. We were under IMF. So granted, it's yema and it starts with more opposition. Opposition when I was shaping a bind how a bind will go. So opposition when it if your objective is solid, when it check your bind, you can direct a bind accordingly. Nti miracle abajinye de ehie nie sa name na obe name na ma emfected Dumsor no focus on what is happening now. Dumsor issues Galamsey ni ade ba na mum push na mum government pressure na on dealing with the issue no solve Galamsey no because it's not enough see nyina say afa no normal so NDC for ye bi MPP for so ye Galamsey ni bi afa normal but the government the people of Ghana na yebre people are reporting skin diseases and other infections. The Galamsey bro. Now we allow NDC and MPP to do politics with it. Because of those frivolous promises. And then the party for ni na ati omo wagu mo ye Galamsey ye nya problem to the extent the air can reverse ni ade ananke home po Galamsey ni nu no it is now affecting them a Pentecostal for koka say ade no koka miracle abodi opposition you have a voice but you have pressure. America opposition for the omo de Donald Trump o ne ho ano mo ni na mo forces some local Christian politics ni be from America any UK do the politics like omo ye no na ye push government na government ni na adwuma serve the people of Ghana. Now the way I Ghana kono it's not the best. It's not the best. You koye ni one step ni abaye chi two steps. You koye ni one step ni abaye chi two steps. You koye ni one step ni abaye chi two steps. What are we doing for the people of Ghana ni nkola ewom? What are we doing for the people of Ghana ni nkola ewom? We can't continue to do that. Ni de bia no man no say na ye buy so the people of Ghana will have their say. But ye ntumi nkosi na ye be kasa ban will have their way. This is the preliminary way, point by point. Pani de bro no. Inti Abrantie when he first to comment or so I'm happy. You are happy for the Dumsor to be back. Me America. Inti Dumsor it won't affect me really. They affect me bush for. And my dad Dumsor here west. So I'm not happy Dumsor is back. I'm not happy Dumsor is back. Now only my businesses are Dumsor affect you. Oh no, they we so could you any trap you know what dance you don't care about Dumsor. But me and why you want interest in business in idea no. Dumsor ababaka enye do. Dumsor ababaka enye de. What do you want to know? Was I unprecedented Dumsor? Well, this is not unprecedented though. This kind of Dumsor when you're unprecedented. Because sister for say no one is happy for Dumsor. But it's simple that John Mahama is back. Well, John Mahama is back, mom dear. So if Dumsor is coming back there, and it's also very instructive, say President Mahama time. You see, but it's also good to understand and state the fact very clear. Say, and yet President Mahama and Dumsor started with Ghana. Dumsor started under President Kufuor. In fact, a campaign typically, President Rawlings AFRC time, you know. Certain in the Dumsor. But they soldier by. But under multi-party democracy, Ghana, Fourth Republic, the Dumsor started Kufuor time. Kufuor time, President Kufuor time. Dumsor Bayama, President Kufuor Kofa, strategic reserve plan through a first saying Tarzan. Kokubobe Kofa machines the basic tema. Tamara refinery 200 money a strategic reserve plant. The issue was to generate alternative power for Ghana. To Dumsor Kufuor time started Mahama. But Mahama time now Dumsor mobile ding. Because Kufuor and Kufuor time because omu to me so any kakra no Kufuor ko ye no NDC for samba biem no we didn't even see that much because under Atamos but Atamos be ko obe wu oni mo no any Atamos wu ye na china transition to President Mahama na Dumsor ni yi neti mo 2013 2014 2015 na esan ye kese. So when you said that Mahama back into Dumsor babaka, let's state the fact very clear. It was there before Mahama came. Truth is say Mary Uzi is right, but she apologized because she used her number 6. Kufuor gave the leader of the Church of Pentecost Pacho truth. Don't come here and come and belittle somebody's father. What you say? Don't come here, man. Come and do a uni a year. Kufuor gave. Okay, I say Apostle Nyameche to ono oniskana. Uka say Escalates say papa na. Uka say oye dry to say papa. Ah, you don't me mun din kola asem wo ha say. Apostle Nyame cheto no wabo bra. Sika bi enu papa ni bi no akwaje Akufo-Addo sika. What nonsense is that? Respect to who? What you say? I'll say, how can I join Toronto, Canada? Okay, Bernardo, if I saw join, maybe I'll give you the link. But time that's because and then now say 1 hour pay. I'll say because if you are 24-hour economy needed, is dead on arrival. Well, there's still more time. President Mahama will 1.5 years or 4 years. Until there's still time. So person yen adwuma obetimi aye at least enye ni nyina akra no obetimi give us something to represent 24-hour economy no. Steven say oh no, Dumsor again. Yep, Dumsor is back. Obi say Mahama for third term. Well, constitution no Mahama third term bi anim. Constitution e dey adwuma. Enye your preference. What you say? Osi bimle, do you know the job more than masa me tell it ni ma adwuma no amen be yes say be attack obi. Why be attack you, be papa that without any evidence? And he it's legal wife for no court. Don't come here and come and do a papa them. What I say, I say, do we even have a database in Ghana? Anyways, if the USA wants to capture GM like Maduro, they can do it in seconds. Well, yeah, in Ghana, Ghana, the people of Ghana, no, now America can capture Mahama like Maduro. It will never happen, and America is aware of it. Ghana may be a small country, but young countries are America, Trump. No matter how powerful Trump is, on to me sorry so befa. Ghana no, yeah, small country, but we Nigeria for crown say Ghana a small country, but we are a mighty nation. The fact say NDC MPP politics in Qatar say we will sit down for America to come and undermine our sovereignty as a nation and capture our president. Allah. And America and born in Sama Ghana. And on your try, born in Sama Ghana. America can be the most powerful country, but Ghana, so young Kolasa, we have our might in our own. Nigeria for credit advance Ghana and your children, sir. What you say, I go for my kind of message, you know, Mobi Sumbra. Albert Opon say, can you imagine Mr. Sedum Ketia as the president of Ghana? Democracy is not good for Africa crowd. Well, I can imagine. And there's nothing wrong with the Sedum Ketia being the president of Ghana because he had the brain and he had the governor of my body. He had the brain and he had the governor of my body. And he meant this Mr. Sedum Ketia because of also could have small body. He may not have the personality of president. But if he has the brain, why not? Would it not go President Mahama, President Rollins by you know? Time at AFRC time, President Rollins be you kuno. President Rollins near the nature of crank, be our cast of onji. None Rollins chain. Ni come way you a year friends and numpe. Or your panier. The same don't get your crowd body chain President Rollins when he was Chairman Rollins. When he was Chairman Rollins. No, but obey leader of Ghana. So why can't they say don't get to be president of Ghana? Man, body who underestimate you, Obia Papa or Hanum, sir. What I say, Obisi, people are saying Mr. is not fit for the purpose because he cries easily. Okay, almost say Obisi Julia Debra and Comfort Castle is not fit for purpose because as a year friend say Osun dear. Yeah, Ghana honey, if you're a man and you want to cry. We don't define somebody's competence by tears. It's more so say anybody is genuine. Bankruptcy over there say or acting, maybe or acting. Politicians are more active 24/7. But can he do the job? That's where I'm more interested in. Truth he cried. They be about speculation. Who the evidence? Or if when talking about presidential candidate, talk about the one who will give us better Ghana. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. Dumsor mankwa or say but a year first but their dog in America is still doing the okay. I don't know about any dog in America there. Okay, Mami Fa Branty way. So say when has Barry Ewuzi achieved in free zones? Well, that's a very good question. As a Ghanaian, no, you have every right to ask that question. Say, "Ma, many buy ding and why?" I go say, "Hey, 1 million jobs if you pa well." Mary Ewuzi force here. Free zones no bet me a boy creating 1 million jobs easily. Or force here, obet me creating 1 million jobs easily. Okay. True to know the other person attack Apostle Nyame and I will never allow my platform to be used to attack Obi Papa. What you say? Apostle Nyame on your politician. Obi a politician put now attacking idea. I will say that we're assuming that's a risk. say in entering into politics of insult no Ghana for the a politics ye did atem what I say into no munjai de moye no into no a dollar also John Mahama is incompetent too much well and the owner who can was him dollar the we acquisition was say if you unless some chiefs and local police MCs any assemblymen are sacked Galamsey will never stop. When NIMOs are going to operation, someone will call them to inform them, say, Munjawe, no ne ekum, Galamsey ne manti president, Mama, by no into me and fighting, or not only the other. Freddie Tay say, I've forgotten, have you forgotten second day Japan, Komo Mudi, atem no one, well, and you know the atem, on one so patcho, but on one him say, Obia will admit the politics of means on yes, almost count, but I'm speaking in context. What you say, I was to my baby, I was to what's any message or see if this time Galamsey is so organized. Say some assemblies no have been paid in a month. Well, I think that mean Papa Kromu for cry DC no kahwa or Gigi or Musika 30,000. I think Joy News expose cry confirmed that Gigi or Musika and no more yes sir. But you see, we should not endorse Galamsey under any circumstance. At the end, say a coin. Me Papa Kromu for ya make a Mansia Central. Any dance hono me or mojitiske. It's sad to say if you go there, edume bieni ho. In fact, Amansia Central crowd 1 kilometer of quota crani ho. And the whole MC say if you are jijisika from Nkrofo from Galamsey people to encourage Galamsey, that's a shame. Say district now utim no quota ba ko crani ho no. It is kana ojeno for what? Ojeno for what? Joseph or say if you we told Ghanaians before the elections NDC bag Galamsey ni beba eno na ye hu yo eno na ye hu Nicholas say how can you say this is only Dumsor that is making this government unpopular? What makes you think that cocoa farmers, nurses, teachers ni ade well I know they me view also bet me do they about say all these issues no so my government are here unpopular. Yes, don't assume that I will speak your mind because I have my mind and you have my mind too. Acquisition my kind of message. Marco, my kind of messages way. Albert upon us, Dumsor actually started in 1999 under JJ. Well, I've said that already. When we've read a lot of history too. But Trini say even before Dumsor, nurses, teachers, any farmers have been crying plus high electricity. Ghana for okay or patch say President Mahama no almost popularity rate is in your from cry before Dumsor. Because nurses ni ade ni cocoa farmers na temi nyina no rather expose aban no cry even before cry Dumsor bem. Fair comment, very very fair comment. Why? I hear you. It's a very fair comment also. Ede ba say nye gala Dumsor no kwa na ema Mahama aban unpopular but niema bebre ama Mahama aban no I am popular. Kwesi Kuma Junior say sovereignty of Ghana cannot even pay their own employed youth. You are talking about sovereignty of Ghana. If you are men, don't get it twisted. America person beche Ghana, beche Ghana, what in Ghana to be near because Ghana no sovereignty papa ben ena omo. Ono so need your fire omo no say Ghana ni che da ni sovereignty papa bia ntiminja say as a member Ghana fans say omo sovereignty bia America for entumi emeye omo hwe nti Ghana de enye enkosi aga ono ne dia ono so de ba no. But I believe in Ghana. And I believe say a law nature no America for nkasa ya aware say Ghana is a sovereign state. And omuntu mi sorry keke maha say ye ba betu waban egu ana obechi President Mahama. Besides that would be a clear breach of UN international law. You cannot use force against a country. We haven't used anything against you. In to me sorry meka say Ghana no ba attacking. America for they will have no issue. Now America no Venezuela for relationship. No, it's a relationship of father and son. Any America for any father and son relationship. Yeah, nkwala yete ano. What you say? America for it's a Gold Coast country. Come and come Ghana pa. And I'm not saying America cannot do it. They can try. Say yet one on Christmas last year Christmas. Omo beto share Nigeria for so when you say terrorists for the northern side of Nigeria. Omo beto share almost. Maybe they can do it, but the American say Ghana no mo ya. Yes, we will take them to the United Nations. But again, I'm sure so busy because say if ya United Nations now they have no more. And you have a point. Because you won't think that America has done UN phone to me here. Also if there is a toll free number that can do is there a toll free number bet me afraid I catch almost all year Galamsey and I'll check for you there's a toll free number. But I'm telling you say some passive politicians don't no more yeah. What guys a toll free number now? But look, the issue we have is beyond toll free number. We have a big issue where politicians and their business partners who have power are the ones who are behind these people who are doing Galamsey, you know. And they come brofo said they are enkosi. Mind you, Professor Frempo Boateng or no German trained professor Munina tried to stop Galamsey anye. Some was up where he tried to stop Galamsey and that Thanos anye. Galamsey issue is bigger because the people who are beneficiaries no, are the people who are pretending to fight it. That's the bottom line. Omo munya Galamsey no fast. Omo na pretending to fight Galamsey no. Enti Galamsey who fighting now wakopem. Because all the people who are supposed to stop it, the same people no pretending to stop the Galamsey. Clifford the Asante Boateng say if it's only in NDC regime that the people compose songs for Dumsor. What a useless and evil party, pacho. I think MPP times so there were songs for Dumsor. There were songs. Now it will be composition. My name MPP 4 years now composition, you know, and the NDC no. Yeah, let's look at the issue broadly. Let's not simplify the issue. Say when you the solution for like Galamsey no merely because of fire for there's a bigger issue at stake. There's a bigger issue. Daniel Ivan, see if you are doing a good job. Let's keep educating the people. Why? Dora Nate say good afternoon, madam. Dora, good afternoon to you too. I got to see if some chiefs in the constituency, you know, are fighting over terrorists. So just to give to their campaigns, Galamsey campaigns, no my Galamsey ni okay. Ono so na some no see chiefs in the crash actually. Chiefs ni actually. Na ya ban almost sorry omo kwaje car. Ewo aban oti akonya so dey. How can they even fight? Nka mo aban no ahemfo no mo na nka ye kan mo ye shadow second chamber of Ghana. Second chamber of parliament bisa. Mo na nka mo ye the on the side watchdog. Anka mo watch parliament. Mo watch executive, mo watch judiciary. By mo ahemfo na mo na nka mo gina nche mo check aban mo kwaje ka aban ho. Mo kwaje V8. Ya mama allowance kam ye increase allowance na wo betimi stop aban. Aban si on crop ye Galamsey abetimi stop it. No wonder say ejoso a whole NDC executives etumi akoto a MC so brono. Yeah, brono because the MC is doing her legitimate job and the NDC government you. And you see that's why me side here and man for example from both parties because MPP for by mo kai MPP supporters e ko mo judge. Omo ko train a friend saying coordinator wo Kumasi ayede omo ko court omo ko to share judge no so ko bro judge no. And NDC had the to attack MPP first. One crop for legitimately to when NDC members attack President Kufuor they saying to wow lawyer, what by and a bro judge, and you are not saying anything. And when we are cock azan koko adanko that do prosecution, we say they conform the court and also adanko that do. And this NDC for the kobo wa kumsi no ni ade and also mo share do ya they conform na court. Ye nim Ghana has a chu obi ani edin photo about NDC for no ka dey form photo amba. Eti both NDC ni MPP na crocodile John no mo ye no. Crocodile John adanko that do. Because MPP time supporters are kobo judge. And NDC first time so supporters so akobo our kumsi ni MPP branch broad daylight was like an execution star. You pro no mu you must say you said that the governor court I fine you 5 million. There was no case in court. There was no case in court. So an MPP 4 times we have discontinued the case filed nolly prosecuted. So you are dreaming beyond NDC and MPP ye bebre. Ye bebre. You are dreaming beyond NDC and MPP ye bebre. Because nobody is looking out for the people of Ghana. Yeah, joining on money, yeah, unnecessary politics. 7 to 4 if you I recommend the base to all Ghanaian youth. So we Ghana youth now onye so be joining the base. So see, I'm already connected to the base. You yati. Jdas will say the problem in ECG is not transmitters and transformers. It's purely financial. Instead of the government using the money to solve the Dumsor problem, it is using it to stabilize the dollar. Well, and also a good point. Obian him say ECG the car. Or the car as Escalates no senka ECG was car. Correct me they changing the transmission cables na Ashanti region cables no fire dada. Even when somebody Osage for bad no cry Ashanti region cause still there's Dumsor in Ashanti region. There's a problem with Ghana. Grid transmission lines they fire and your papa. I will see changes that transmission lines na because most of them are dada. To your point, that's the whole point. Today, very important. Say, omo de sa transmission lines ni nyina no. Yeah, the says sikana ke betimi de change. Yeah, truly entire ECG. Yeah, they call dollar stability because of politics. The politics of yen the politics of yen stabilizing city, you know, just for for two no purposes. No, be say yeah, buy, you're stabilizing, but there's a fundamental issue. And yeah, that Dumsor emu. And yeah, that Dumsor emu. And when you read IMF program, no, so now you start to say a tray, and also let us do politics beyond just NDC and MPP. Near more mining conning, which I said, this is my take for the day. Now, I'll be joining, no, but I'm say, and then baby who link no, baby who link, and sorry for that, because first no, I think first now come the 2 on them, but my name I found 2 on them, because then me see a bear 1 hour, yeah, de baby, because see. And yet, do I be kasano and a betcha say Ghana no, we are solving a problem. Sometimes it is the point, the forcefulness of making the point. You see, the forcefulness, the bluntness, the brutal nature of telling a bank said, here, this is not insult. Me better I mean do be at them. It's and make us a politicians be no money, almost at them deal currency until they pay people to go and insult their opponent. But you can make your point forcefully without any insult. You don't need to insult anybody. In this AI generation way, AI way, now also the obey answer be the atema. Oh, I just work actually. In this generation way, ube the atem just what I better trendy. Now better trendy 1 minute, and the issue will still be there. Because fundamentally, no, the citizens of Ghana are part of building the nation. You enjoy nation building in my NDC and MPPO. We are part of it. Even if you say a coin, idea or the by advantage, that's what the by very good suggestion. I will be out here, you take it. You don't underestimate anybody. This is somebody who's using the brain. Say instead of so this cano ever stabilize the dollar na the boy economy. How about say emphasis cano mum truly ECG? Very truly great. Fantastic suggestion. Onipa we uncle did atemo. I'm just say we the young generation must show say we are living in a generation that uses their brain, a generation that believes in intelligence, even to the point of artificial intelligence. Stephen to first time say okay, Stephen to my kind of messages. Now a case for Jesus or say the government of Ghana should start investing in solar energy. There's so much pressure on the grid. Absolutely. Another fantastic suggestion. Adia ba kwa mitutu kwa broche na me hu say edru sama bulb nkiti kro mo de hye form to just to lighten if you be a fee no akoto uko lows and I say Home Depot almost small light. Let me see the Ghana panty and penny for ya no madana. We can yet see abrochire crack and no summer 3 months na dum. But 1 minute we be a bebono or the solar no the betchi am or the asokania. Why can't we turn all the street lights in Ghana to solar lights? But a bronchi obi beko akwaje contract. So okofa electric street light yaba. Na abaya manisika. Anka just udia ubeje o contract kwa kodidi mu a. It's okay. Kofa solar light bra. For solar light, we should be able to have solar light across all your major cities. Tema Accra. There is no reason why I was here thinking. Now we live in the middle of the equator. We are on the equator. Yena yeda area nimu. Yena we are seeing 24/7. Now so yet Dumsor. How we can turn simple. Me say I'm buying crab to make solar panels. Free the ababe go Ghana so bia o pay bibia kwaji so me say abrochire kra dey abroach America yeah aban omo states bebre wo omo ya o aban betimi aso wase na state na twia bia ma na why solar panels wo dan so na yen ya tie awie mu 24/7 enka aban mokọ China ni Korea ni ade mokọ solar panels abas obi anje bi ngune dan ho na obi anye solar na aban betua wo de aban betua 50% wo nso tua 50%. And if you for domestic users of electricity, you never convert it to solar no. Nanki pressure na what grade no so no thermal generation no gas generation ni nyina ba form. The way they say ye di ni nyina gu pressure no so. E na ma akoso mo na fon no. Enti akoso mo just 20%. That's what I'm saying that say NDC for be catch so e na akoso mo no na eyi bi ahye wo ho e na omoboa akoso mo gives just 20% pay. There's no way Akosomo is the reason why Ayenya the current Dumsor. It is a lie. Obia catch us. And this one, you don't have to be an electric engineer. it's just common sense. Unim the number of megawatts that is generated in Akosomo. Anya Akosomo now is the 3rd or 4th in the line of power generation. Just say, baby, so no na sogli power plant domi ade kra ma just say Akosomo men who baby na Akosomo na nsuo na nkasa hen ekọ since Burkina for your mo dam. How much water enters into the Akosomo dam anyway? Akosomo is not the cause of your Dumsor. We must fix the issue and deal with Dumsor issue, no, and stop making it look like Eric, don't cause if you're back California, all the homes require solar panels. And okay, California state bia also more require home bia also use solar panel. Na ye Ghana. And ka the entire Ashama, me say Ashama crowd Ashama ne tema kuragu solar panel so Ashama ne tema. Udi enyina amun kofa solar panel equipment nimra so bia wo pe bia be register for Ghana card be register na yemfa ECG for mra ofie ne yemfa megu dan so. Imagine the amount of reduction on the national grid. Ntinka thermal tier 1 ni tier 2 ni ade nyina aboaze thermal generation ni nyina nka pressure beba from abro ni beye. Instead of thinking outside the box, there be the usual. You can find another car power, but no be contract to be a beji kakra bedi. You can find another America, but no be a beji kakra kudi. But we can use solar to be able to cut your consumption and the pressure on the national grid. Say they are branching this suggestion by no. You're outside the box, so you're building your mind. We are not building NDC and MPP. We are building a nation that is worth building. So what you say? And Mamenda Masi said,